Namo Aditafa. Thanks so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This wonderful sound calls us back to our true home. The fourth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and to relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I'm determined to speak truthfully with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I will not spread news I do not know to be certain, and will not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause a family or the community to break. I am determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. For our Dharma lesson, we've been reading More Than Mindfulness, Widening the Field of Practice by the Monastics of the Thai Forest Sangha. We're continuing in a talk by Ajahn Karunadhammo called In This Body. It might be useful here to clarify some of the terms that we use in meditation practice. The words mindfulness and concentration, sati and samadhi, are used in various different ways. A lot of the ways that the teachings have come to us have come out of the commentarial tradition. There were some perceived gaps in the suttas that the commentaries attempted to flesh out a bit more. Additionally, different teachers and traditions also add their particular slant to these terms as time goes on. As a result, a common teaching has evolved that mindfulness and concentration are two separate practices. In one interpretation, mindfulness is what you do when you put your full attention in the present moment on just whatever is arising in the mind. You are just staying present for whatever is happening right here, right now. And that's what mindfulness is all about. Concentration is considered to be a separate activity where you establish a narrow focus in an exclusionary way and try to develop a sense of peace and calm based on that focused, narrow beam of attention. In this approach, there are two separate practices that are both needed, but in a sense, one develops them separately. Additionally, they have become conflated with the terms samatha and vipassana. Samatha is often conflated with the term concentration, one translation of the word samadhi, and vipassana is often associated with the mindfulness practice described previously. In this scenario, you're watching whatever is arising through the lens of anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, not self. That's called vipassana meditation, which is done separately from samatha practice. A more sutta-based approach, which is being talked about, and brought more into our awareness these days, is one that recognizes that sapatitana, the four establishings of mindfulness, are all contemplations that we do as a basis for developing samadhi. The four satipatthana contemplations are ways of collecting the mind around a theme, a frame of reference, that serves many purposes. It serves the purpose of developing both samatha and vipassana. And the result, if done with diligence and clarity, is a gathering of the mind, a collecting of the mind into composure, a firm establishing of mind that we call samadhi. These contemplations are related very strongly in that way, dependent on each other and supportive of each other. So in that way, the 32 parts are another subject that we can focus our attention on and develop, both samatha and vipassana, as a support for developing a very strong state of composure, of collectedness of the mind, of samadhi, with a very broad, open, all-around kind of awareness. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Adira Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.